What's happening, YTPC? It's George 416 Piper outside in a balmy 5 degrees. That's about 42 Fahrenheit. I'm going to enjoy my Calabrese Metamorphosis Bulldog, and in it I'm going to be smoking my third bowl of GLP's Quiet Nights. And if you're curious, this tin is from January or August 2020. So the first bowl, as I mentioned before, it was mild and sweet the first half, and then it became like really sour in the second half. I'm not sure if that was my Missouri Meerschaum Diplomat Fifth Avenue or if I was just smoking it too fast and I just had way too much buildup of Dottle at the bottom, and as all that mess was just mixing up. Because the second bowl was much better in my Country Gentleman. I had the flavors more all the way through, mild and sweet, burns really well. I had like a little bit of Dottle at the bottom, but not as bad as I did in the first bowl. But I did smoke that one a lot slower, and I guess I reaped the rewards of it. So let's see how this one goes. And then maybe I'll share with you guys while I'm smoking my worst job in my mind that I've ever had. Plenty of other people love it, but I hated it. The initial light, smooth, very mild hint of sweetness. So far so good. Just tamp it down a bit. Let's go with the True Light. Very mild sweetness. I'm getting a bit of the sweetness on the retro as well. I like this blend. I'm not sure, how am I gonna word this? I'm not sure if this is a blend that I would like keep buying over and over again because it wows me, because I find it similar to other blends, and I kind of prefer blends that have a little, either a little bit more sweetness or a little bit more kick. But I can see why they call it Quiet Nights. This is probably the ideal smoke to have if you don't want to be up all night, to have just before you go to bed. Now, you're wondering what my worst job that I ever had was. Well, pretty smooth, I have to admit. The worst job I ever had was working for Canada Post as a mail carrier. That's right, I used to deliver the mail. I did it for almost 3 months. When I started, it was right around Christmas time. There was like tons of snow, and that's usually when the mail volumes are the highest. So I guess this is how they weed out the weak from the strong. And as organized as a guy I am, I just found it difficult to what they want you to do is organize all the mail according to the route in the individual slots, and it would just take me forever to do. A lot of times I would finish organizing my walk, as they call it, and then just as I'm done finishing organizing the walk and getting ready to pack it in the bag, one of the more senior carriers would say, "Oh, this is my route," and then I would have to go back and sit down on the bench after doing all that work and wait to see what my next walk was. Needless to say, I would spend a long time delivering the mail because I wasn't unfamiliar with the routes. I would be doing a different route every day, in the snow, in the cold, and by the time I got home, it would be late at night, dark, and I hated it. This is out, of course. I hated it so bad that I would get stressed out in the morning as soon as I woke up. It's one of those jobs where I didn't want to go to work. After the first week or two, my supervisor at the time, we'll call her Cindy J, she comes up to me and she says, "Maybe you should think of getting another job." This is after a week or two. Yes, I was slow, but yes, I was new. It was heavy mail. I wasn't used to it. I wasn't even used to some of the... You have to drive, obviously, to where you're going, and some of the routes they had was so disorganized. It's only when you've been on this certain walk for a while that you can kind of do it your own way and do it in a more efficient way, because the way they planned it out, it wasn't very efficient. You had a lot of going back and forth and wasting time. Of course, that's not something you realize until you're actually on the route. So she didn't like me right from the beginning. Of course, I didn't really like the job either. I hated it. I was so wet and it was so cold. I was so often that I ended up getting bronchitis. This is, of course, after they moved me to another mail center that was closer to where I lived. For some reason, they had me working further out from where I lived, and the guy who lived close to that area, they put him in the spot that was closer to me. And when we were both going through orientation, we're like, why don't we just swap? And, apparently that was too much or too tall an order for them to figure out. And they ended up keeping us the way we were. Inevitably, I ended up going closer to where I worked, and the guy who lived closer to where he worked, or where I was working, he ended up going to where I was working so he can be closer to his home. But oh, I was nearing 3 months. I was getting better at it, but because of bronchitis, I ended up taking time off. And because I was temporary on call or relief for everybody who's sick or on holidays, I apparently took too much time off for, a newbie. And I ended up getting canned on the week before I was supposed to pass my probationary period. It's pretty embarrassing getting fired. These guys that I worked with came and they basically brought the letter to my home, and then I had to return all the keys and all that stuff. From that job, I ended up working for an armored truck company, and then from there, people were applying to the job I currently have, and so I'm happy where I am now, and I guess everything happens for a reason. But yeah, being a mail carrier, letter carrier, whatever you want to call it, a mailman, mail person, it's hard work. It really sucks unless you're more organized. Ironically, my wife did it for a bit, and she was way faster than I was. Guess certain jobs are just not cut out to do. So I'm gonna smoke this down, and I will give you like my final impressions on it. See you in a bit. I'm about a quarter of the way down, and as I'm smoking this, I'm remembering that I had a major brain fart, and I forgot to congratulate Dallas, full Dottle, on his 500 plus subs. Congratulations, Dallas. Absolutely fantastic. I have no doubts you're going to be doubling that in no time. If you haven't checked out Dallas, full Dottle, I will leave the link to his channel down below. He does probably the best reviews, the most detailed reviews I have seen. I don't think his reviews are second to anybody. They're probably equal to a lot of the great ones that are out there. Very unique, very detailed, like I said. He even makes his own blends, which I think he's giving some away as well. I know you said, Dallas, that outside the US you're not really eligible, but I just want to support your channel anyways, and I want to congratulate you on the great channel and just you being a great guy. So cheers and congratulations. I gotta say, the second smoke looks like it's better than the first. I don't know if it's because this Calabrese Bulldog is still fairly new. I'm not sure, but I'll continue to smoke it down, and again, I'll let you know what I think at the end. I'm back. The first bowl was worse than this one. The second bowl is definitely the best. I'm just entering the middle of the bowl. I'm still it's weird. You get subtle hints of sweetness, but then you get that tang sourness. I'm getting that acidy sourness in the back of my throat. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. So many people like this blend. Honestly, this is one of the blends that I was wanting to try for a long time. I thought it was gonna be better. I have to be doing something wrong. Some sweetness. The sweetness is always mild, not very overpowering sweetness, but I'm just getting that sourness. In my Country Gentleman, it was much better. I don't know if it's because it's a taller, bigger bowl, and again, I don't know if it's because this is a relatively new pipe that it's needs more breaking in and it's affecting the overall flavor of everything. But I think I might have to put this Quiet Nights away at least until the fall and try again. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm tamping too much. Maybe I'm chooching too hard. Or maybe I'm just not meant to like this blend, and I overhyped it in my mind, maybe, possibly. You get a bit of that sour spiciness in the Retro Hill at this point. In the beginning, it was more milder and sweet. I don't know. Third bowl impressions. This isn't one I'm going to be reaching for in the near future. I think my next pipe it's due is my Rossi 8673. I'm going to do my initial smoke in that, and I'm probably going to go back to HGL. I was really loving that blend. Maybe that blend spoiled me a little bit. I want to like this one so bad, but right now I'm just not feeling it. Maybe in the fall, like I said. I don't want this video to drag on for way too long. It looks like it is already. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope everybody's doing well and enjoy the rest of your weekend. This is the daylight savings, so we're going to be losing an hour of sleep tonight. Don't forget to turn back your clocks if you're in North America. Thanks for watching again. Again, Dallas, congratulations on all your subs and your wonderful channel. Really like watching your content. Keep up the good work. Take care, everybody, and remember, when you smoke a pipe, you smile at life. Cheers.